Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor, my great honor and pleasure to organize this special session with Dr. Kenneth Tong for this special session on commemorating the beginning of antenna research by Professor Fong 4 decades ago in Hong Kong. You can see some of the pictures here. This is the picture I took with Professor Lee when we first joined the APS meeting in 1986 in Philadelphia. And this is another photo, Professor Kenneth Tong taking with Professor Lee at UCL when Professor Tong joined UCL in 2010. So you can see our relationship with Professor Lee is so close and for so many years. And this is a special design antenna for Professor Lee, the U-stop patch antenna. And we are going to have a little bit long meeting today from 9 to 13:15 today, and I hope you enjoy all the talk by our distinguished guests and speakers today. Now, maybe let me start the introduction first. And actually, I will jointly give this introduction with Professor Stuart Long and myself here. And Professor Long preferred me to start first, so let me do my part first. And this is the picture I took recently in Hong Kong. You can see we are still good. Although the business is not that much at the moment, you can see the harbour is a little bit calm, but the weather is quite nice. Hopefully, when the virus pandemic has gone, I would like to invite all of you to visit Hong Kong again. And the outline of my introduction, including I'll just share why I want to arrange this special session. And then I will share with you my personal acquaintance with Professor Lee. And then I will do some review of my research collaboration with Professor Lee. And I also like to share what I have learned from Professor Lee. I hope our younger generation can understand why I can achieve, I would say why I can make many achievements after so many years due to the things I learned from Professor Lee. And I would like also share the contribution to antenna research by Professor Lee in Hong Kong. And then I will introduce our distinguished speakers today. And Professor Long also will give a congratulatory speech after with me. And the objective, of course, is to celebrating the significant contributions by Professor Fong Lee on antenna research in Hong Kong since 1980s. And then hope through this special session would enlightening the future of antenna research through the distinguished talks by our invited speakers who are good friends or former colleagues of Professor Lee. Professor Lee just celebrated his 80th birthday a few months ago, and I hope he happy birthday and then and also good health, and you enjoy what he is doing. He will share with us. He's not that much in research, but he has another business. He will share with us in the period discussion.
Actually, I'm 90.
Oh. This is so my personal acquaintance with Professor Lee. Actually, I met Professor Lee back to 1983 in Chinese University of Hong Kong when I attended a seminar by Professor Eric Cullen. And in that opportunity, it was the first time I I met Professor Lee. And then fortunately, City Polytechnic started in 1984, and then I got the contract by Professor Lee to start my career as a lecturer at City Polytechnic of Hong Kong. And the first day when I met him, I asked Professor Lee to suggest me a research topic because I thought what I did in my PhD study already quite mature. So Professor Lee suggested me microstrip antennas. So starting from that day, I learned microstrip antenna from Professor Lee. And then after that year, Professor Lee actually left CTU to the US a few months later. But I still have the opportunity to continue to collaborate with him through attending many conferences. For example, here, 1986 in Philadelphia, and then in Pierce, I think this is in Boston, right? And also in Pierce, 1997, he returned to Hong Kong to attend this conference with us to support our research work with Professor Cullen and Professor Jesh Dahili. And so after that, this is the APMC again, 1997. He also came back actually twice in this 2 years, early 1997 and then late 1997, 2 times to support our conferences. And so got that Professor Lee received his John Clouds Antenna Award in 2009, and I was the nominator for Professor Lee. Is that correct, Professor Lee?
Yeah, right.
And then later on, I'm just so fortunate that I also get the award, the same award a few years ago, and Professor Lee was so kind to drive from his home to San Diego more than 10 hours to support me. So I'm very grateful to his kindness to me and my wife. These are the books, the book I wrote with Professor Lee, and this is the first and this is the second edition. Right. So these are all my acquaintances with Professor Lee. More importantly, you can see I co-author more than 82 journal papers with him. This is really amazing. And we also have many conference paper collaborations. So you can see my personal acquaintance with Professor Lee also over the past several decades. It's quite enjoyable, I would say. And although Professor Lee is not interested in research now, but we can still communicate with other sharing. So here are the research collaboration with Professor Lee. I start from the triangular microstrip antenna analysis through cavity model first. And then we work on the conformal patch antenna analysis. And later on, the step patch antenna for bandwidth enhancement. And more importantly, when Professor Lee invented this U-stop patch antenna, I tried to learn the theory behind with Dr. Tong. So this U-stop patch is basically a very classic antenna. It has many applications. Even nowadays, you can see this is the U-stop patch, which can be dual band operation. It can be CP operation. And more recently, it has been applied for the transmit antenna array design. It is a 1-bit reconfigurable design and by other group. Actually, this is proposed by other group. They have a switch here. When you switch on and switch off, effectively you rotate this U-stop by 180 degrees. So you can make it a 1-bit element, which is very useful to develop large transmit array with 1-bit resolution. And some other scholars also modify this for 2-bit design. So it has a very promising future. And what I have learned from Professor Lee, this is including, of course, is be humble and friendly. to everyone. Of course, everybody must be hardworking and willing to face new challenges. Do not afraid to do administrative work. That's the reason why I take the challenge to become head of department at CityU 10 years ago. Personally, I don't want to do any administration, but Professor Lee encouraged me, if you have common sense, you can do administration. Willing to speak the truth in assessment. This is very important. Even he is your good friend, but you have to tell the truth, right, in the assessment. And make decision in fairness. This is also very important. Well prepared to do anything, like the special session today. I iterate many times with Professor Lee in this presentation. So and many more I cannot tell too much, but these are very important things that I learned from Professor Lee over the years. And the contribution to antenna research in Hong Kong is by Professor Lee. He has this first book. This book is resulted from his antenna course at City University of Hong Kong back to, I think it's 1984. And this is the only full-length antenna course given at Hong Kong at that time, based on his first book, Principle and Antenna Theory, published in this book. And Professor Law also added another book. I did contribute a chapter in this microstrip antenna. And recently he has this lecture on leadership, classical music appreciation, microstrip antenna, and more. This book, if you want to get a copy, you can send your request to Professor Lee. Another contribution is very important. You can see these are the IEEE fellows in the antenna field with City University with CityU, past and present, including Professor Lee, Professor Edward Yong, myself, Professor K.W. Leung, Professor Chi Chen, Professor Kenneth May, Professor Ki Wu, Professor Jin Jianmin, they all the colleagues at CityU before. Professor Leung Sen, Professor Xue Chen, he's in the audience. Professor Yu Ping Chen was our postdoc fellow. Professor Jiling Chen, also our postdoc fellow, and Goh Yong-sin got his PhD here. So without Professor Lee start the research in Hong Kong, they may not join us. They may not obtain his PhD like Yong-sin is here. So this is a picture we took in the year of 2017, and I received the Klaus Antenna Award. Professor Kish is in the audience. I think Kenneth is here. Professor Leung Sen, Professor Xue Chen, and Yong-sin is here. So Professor Lee's contribution is very substantial and significant to Hong Kong, I would say. So maybe this is a question I can ask. What would happen to antenna research in Hong Kong today if Professor Lee did not switch from plasmas to antenna 4 decades ago? You can try to answer this question later. So the outstanding array of speakers today is very important. Sorry, I should speak a little bit fast. Today we have 2 distinguished achievement awards winners. We have 5 John Klaus Antenna Award winners, 4 CityTie Award winners, 1 Shirkunoff Transaction Paper Prize winner, and then 1 Donald Dooley Undergraduate Teaching Award winner, 2 presidents, 2 former presidents of IEEE, 1 editor-in-chief of IEEE journals, and we also have 3 national academicians, 1 ISI highly cited researchers, and 6 authors, editors of antenna book handbooks. So you can see we have so many distinguished and outstanding people supporting us. Speakers of today, including Professor S.A. Long from University of Houston. He will speak after me. And then we have Professor Lo Safai from University of Manitoba, Professor Macallo from Hosang University, Professor Kiss from Concordia University, Professor K.L. Wong from National Sun Yat-sen Universities, Professor Yu Ping Zhang from Nanyang Technological University, and then Professor Jiling Chen from National University of Singapore, Professor Gu Hai from University of Calcutta, Professor Yong Xin Gong Yong Xin Guo from National University of Singapore, and Professor Fan Yan from Tsinghua University. These pictures we took in different occasions or in conferences. I just want to say you have to see Professor Kiss is here, Yan Fan, Ji Ling and Yong Xin, Professor K.L. Wong, and Yu Ping is here, and Gu Hai is here. We don't have we can't find a picture Professor Lee with Professor On and Professor Fai, but maybe you can share with us later. Now, I think I would pass I would let Professor Long to do his sharing with us. Professor Long, can you do the screen sharing? Let me stop the screen sharing. Professor Long, please, from University of Houston.
Okay, can you see my slides?
Yes, I can see it clearly.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning to everyone. I would really like to thank Professor Luke and Professor Tong and the organizers of this session to allow me to participate in this introductory part of this